You think it's, I mean, like you go in expecting one thing and then you get that and it's just like, man, I can't function.
That also shows you how little amount of problems you have on a daily basis.
Exactly. Yeah. I mean, this is how much I have to overcome in life. And it's like, this is already kind of kicking my ass.
You ever see someone with 5 kids? It seems like nothing really bothers them. Kids falling, smacking their head. They're just, they're cool about it. They drink coffee at 3 a.m, but they're like,
oh, they're always like, they got like 4 kids on the train and they're like playing Candy Crush on their phone. And it's like, man, you would think this person would be kind of paying attention, but it's like they are beyond that point.
Yeah, they're like, they ain't going nowhere. You see it on the cruise ships. I remember that this kid was crawling up on my shoes. And I'm like, this kid's all chewing on my laces, untying my shoe. I'm like, whose kid is this? Like, dude, I was mad. And then the parent gets mad at me. Well, where is he going to go? The ocean? I'm like, you need to watch your kid. What do you mean, where's he going to go? Maybe the worst place possible a child can go is the bottom of a shark-infested waters.
Right.
The railing's 4 feet tall. You don't think this kid could crawl over that?
Well, I mean, like, compared to, like, if you're at, like, a hotel or something, it's like this kid could end up in Kansas.
Right.
Yeah, I guess they are in kind of a self-contained thing on a cruise ship.
I mean, for the most part, there's a 4-foot railing, though.
Right.
But it's like, I guess they just don't expect somebody to just grab their kid and throw him overboard.
Yeah. I wonder if there was, like, could a cruise ship actually do that? Where it's like, you pay the money to go on the cruise, and then your kid can just wander. We'll keep them safe.
You're not supposed to.
Yeah.
They say, I mean, I was on a ship, man, a kid drowned. It's so sad.
Man.
I know, it's heartbreaking. I got on right then. But I'll tell you what bothers me the most about this whole situation is the cops are more worried about, like the people in charge were more worried about a worker texting on his phone and not working versus is this guest okay? You'll see them, they're video recording. It's like, both you guys are on your phone now. Neither of you guys are picking up the dirty dishes.
Right.
It's like they're just so much about get this work done. But yeah, man, I've seen a girl one time too. She took some weird pill. They had to bring her back. But it was all guests. It's like none of the workers are around. But if you smoke in a non-smoking area, there's 7 security guards.
Wow.
But no, they say you're supposed to have your kids on you at all time, or they should be at Camp Ocean. That's the place for the kids. You sign them in, and they're not allowed to leave. Yeah, it's like a 24-hour. I think it closes at like 11 o'clock at night or midnight it closes.
Well, it's like if the parents are like, some of those parents are just getting like blackout drunk.
All the parents.
So it's like, I mean, it's probably good to like, let's take your kids off your hands for a little bit.
The worst is the parent that won't even sign their kid into Camp Ocean. They're just like, he'll be all right.
Wow.
Dude, I was on a ship, an older girl, about 25. I tried telling her. She just didn't want to believe me. She was this kid's 16. He tells me, he goes, I'm using my brother's ID. I've been getting in the nightclub every night. I'm only 16. He's laughing and this and that. And this girl that I met at the show, she's like 25. She's wilding out. She's about to get married. She had him in the cabin. They used facial recognition. And they were like, listen, we know he's in there. And you're in there with a minor.
Wow.
And to this day, she doesn't want to believe it. She's like, he was 18. Her mother was just making a big deal. Because she messaged me on Instagram like, hey, did you get that guy's Facebook? I messaged back in caps. He's 16 years old. She's 24. She's like, I was going to fly him out.
Jesus Christ.
I was like, he's a minor. Wow. You got in trouble from the police over this.
Huh. Well, she didn't get in trouble then.
That's the thing. They let it slide. Like she should have gotten in trouble.
If that had gone the other way around,
dude,
my God.
It has gone the other. Bro, FBI's on board when it's the other way around.
Oh, yeah. Wow. Good Lord.
Yep. Yeah, dude, that definitely goes the other way around on those ships sometimes.
My God.
And it goes with, cheating husbands and wives. I've seen it both ways. I mean, like you said a long time ago, nothing good comes from alcohol. And when you give people a 15-drink limit that you're making them pay for, they should lower the price and lower the drink limit.
Well, there's like people pay for like the package, right?
Where it's 15 drinks.
But I mean, like you get like the unlimited package where it's
it's 15.
Oh, okay, it is.
Yeah, they changed that, dude.
Wow.
It used to be unlimited.
Well, it's like all you can eat or something.
People are getting thrown off board. A dude threw his wife overboard.
Wow.
One time. Yeah, they had to quit that shit. Now it's
15 is still pretty wild. I mean,
15 is way too many, dude.
Yeah.
Way too many drinks.
Yeah, I feel like 4 or 5 is like you're getting
You
wild.
have to wait 5 minutes between drinks.
Oh, wow.
You used to not have to wait at all.
Jesus
you used to be able to
Christ.
take
So
all
it's like
15.
a Metro card swipe.
Yeah. And then you're going to places where all you could do is drink.
Right.
And
yeah.
those 15 don't count. You know, you get off. You have your 15 on the ship. Then you're getting off somewhere. You're buying drinks there.
Wow.
You know, you're off for 5 hours, so you still want to hit your 15 on the ship.
Huh.
They're charging you $300 a day. And the way they do it, even if your baby's 3 months old, if they're in your cabin, they have to buy the drink package.
Wow.
Another $300.
Jesus Christ.
Yep, you're
I
better.
see like those TikTok videos of like people showing off how they snuck on
Right.
booze onto the ship.
And the ship's on fire.
Yeah, well, it's like on their chest. It's like wrapped up like a bomb.
The best way I've seen people sneak it on is they do mouthwash.
Oh my God.
Yeah, you put it in mouthwash and shampoo bottles.
How much booze do people need?
And you're allowed to bring a bottle of wine on a day.
Yeah.
Like you're allowed to go buy a bottle of wine per day. Anyway, it's like
well, imagine being at home and having 15 drinks.
I can't do it.
What kind of life is that?
Only 3 times in my life I drank 15 drinks in a day. And they were bad experiences.
Yeah, I feel like that's like that's like 20 years old kind of drinking. But these people on these cruise ships, these are like in their 40s or something, right?
Dude, 88 years old.
Wow.
I've seen a girl blackout drunk, flashing people.
Oh my God.
Everybody's all making fun of it. They're video recording. But like 20 people made out with her.
Oh, wow.
Her husband's all there just looking at the clouds, zoned out. Has no clue what's going on. They're wheeling him around.
Man, I guess that's what you got to pay for.
Yeah, I told you that one dude, I see him all the time. He lives on the ships. Evidently, he was a Navy SEAL, CIA, I don't know, Washington he lived. He said he had to go overseas to like Asia somewhere because nobody'd give him breast implants because he was 70.
Oh, right, yeah.
Yeah, I see him all the time.
Wow.
Every ship, it seems like. I'm like, dude, there's certain people.
The lifer.
Yeah, they just go on. You see them all the time.
Wow.
They go to every show. This guy's seen me like 80 shows. He always wants me to feel his tits. I was on 3 weeks ago with him. He's like, I'm telling you.
During the show?
Well, no, but, you know, he goes, come meet me. I want to tell you a joke. He has the dirtiest,
I can imagine.
filthiest sense of humor you'd ever imagine.
Wow.
Yeah, he's like, they feel real.
Yeah, well, I mean, like, I'm sure it's the kind of show, too, if you bring him on stage.
Oh, I would
do a little two-man. I mean, that's a closer right there.
We just had one, man. They're not supposed to, but a guest let a dude go on. I couldn't believe it. They put the rules out. Comedy club host let this dude go on. He's got like 30 family members there. I'd hate to be the comedian. You just can't fall. It's just the structure and everything is set up for a reason. We have a host that goes up, tells you the rules, and brings you up.
Yeah.
And then you do your thing. And, you know, some of these guys, some of these comedy club hosts, they just want to appease the guest.
Well,
So-
I mean, people are paying money. It's like, yeah, do whatever the fuck you want.
Yeah, you got to do it. But, dude, it's never good.
The guy just went up and told jokes to his...
You know, he just was very extremely filthy, dirty, and I don't even know what he was doing, but they wouldn't get off. And then it's like 30 of his family members in the front row saying they had to force the dude off stage so the other comedian could come on. And it's like, now this dude's got to try to do 15 minutes.
Yeah.
I mean, you have the rules, but the problem is they're hiring so many people. Some people just don't know. I had to follow. I put my foot down. I go, no, I'm sorry. I can't have any guests go on before me. Because I told you I had the one when the dude, he goes, yeah, I'm a comedian out of Charlotte, man. Been doing it 5 years. And the entertainment director, the cruise director had a crush on the dude. So he's like, let him up. He's sexy. Look how he's tall, dark, and handsome. You ain't going to tell me he's not going on stage. And the dude goes on, gets his dick hard, and tells everybody to touch it and squeeze it.
Oh, wow.
And I had to go up after that.
Oh, man.
And then the host goes, you didn't stick. This show was about school that you were supposed to do.
Oh, wow.
You talked about this guy. She's like, I got to give you a bad mark. I'm like, well,
wow.
You think I could talk about school after this?
Yeah. How'd the guy do?
He killed.
Yeah. I mean,
he's
that guy
like,
knows how
that's
to
a
work.
fucking dick. Feel that.
Wow.
And everybody's just grabbing it.
Jeez.
Yeah.
I mean, that's got to be like, I think we already talked about this before, but
Yeah.
that's definitely got to be the closer right there.
Bro, if there's nothing else.
But I mean, even for his set, that can't be your opener because it's like,
Yeah.
what do you start doing after that?
He won't get off stage. He's like, you believe this bullshit? They won't let me off.
Everybody in this room's got to feel it.
Yeah, it's like people are leaving. Their kids are there.
Wow. It never goes good.
People sneak their kids in. I'm like, do you think this is a good thing? They wait till the show starts. You see them. They try to sneak their kid in. I seen this dude acting like he has a fucking beach towel. It's like, dude, we see your kid's 10 years old.
Wow.
This is an adult show. What are you doing?
Hey, the kid's not going to like this show anyways.
I can't stand when I see that. They do anything to sneak their kids in.
Wow.
They try to get their kids drunk. You see the worst parenting when you're out of the U.S. when nothing goes.
Yeah.
Like when you're in Mexico and nobody cares about anything. I've seen kids 12 years old doing tequila shots, talking about, Mommy, that burned. Well, you got to get used to it. I've been drinking since I was a kid.
Wow.
Like somebody needs to step in.
My God. That's always like what I always met those kids. Like I was never there when it happened.
Right.
I was always like when I was in middle school and somebody comes
yeah.
back from vacation and he's like, "Oh man, you won't believe Guatemala.
Right.
I did all this and this and this." And I'm just like, "Man, what kind of parents do you have?"
Those are always the kids that are smoking cigarettes in junior high.
Yeah, well, it's like the kind of kids too, where it's like you can't tell if they're lying or they just have bad parents.
Well, most of the time you could tell sometimes, like if they're bringing Oxycontins to school and they're 13.
Well, they start their kid. You know, you're all in middle school, and this kid's been like going to strip clubs all the time.
Right.
Or something.
He's got
I was in basketball camp. What'd you do?
He's got tattoos of Looney Tunes on him.
Yeah.
His parents let him shave the sides of his head. That's normally the first sign. Once a kid has a bowl cut.
What's funny too is that like if you go to that's like the American kid who goes out of the country with his family on a cruise. But if you're like in Mexico or you grew up in Guatemala, those kids are like wholesome.
Yeah.
The kids who are actually growing up there, once they're 18, they're like, you know, they're like a responsible adult.
I remember
they're like working like a roofing company or something.
Yeah, they are. Yeah, because their dad's like union or so. I was just going to say that. It's those houses where they're all drinking Bud Light and the dad's like, I'd rather you get messed up here.
Yeah.
The driveway's always brand new.
Yeah.
It's like, where the fuck? Another new driveway?
Well, those kids are they're like an adult by the time they're that age. Yeah.
16, they got a gun already.
Yeah, well, they already got like their own little pickup truck company.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They're licensed roofers in Guatemala.
They're all cocky.
Yeah. Yeah, and then those kids end up having kids. You know,
Yep.
18, 19.
That is pretty much America in a nutshell.
Yeah.
I never had that. My parent, like, if I would have grew up rich, I would have been so fucked up. Like, these kids that grew up where money wasn't an issue, I could see how stuff goes south real quick.
Well, I think most kids you meet, especially if it's like New York situation, Park Avenue, like Upper East Side, that kind of rich.
Yeah.
Those kids are like, it's old money.
Right.
So they're kind of like they're used to everything. They're not like getting wild.
Yeah.
It's like the new money kids. Those are the ones where it's like they start doing wild shit.
You get in trouble.
Yeah.
And
Well, it's like if your dad grew up poor and now he has money.
Yeah.
That kid ends up being like that.
Nobody knows how to control it.
They got guns and shit.
Yeah, those Upper East Side kids, they
They wear a suit and tie from when they're like a little
right.
kid.
Yeah, they're like playing tennis.
Yeah. But if your dad was like he started off doing HVAC.
Yeah.
And now he owns the HVAC company.
Yeah.
So he's got like 10 employees, and this dude is making like $500,000 on paper.
Yeah, and he always got that wad of money on him.
Yeah, that guy's kids are gonna do. That's the most wild kid of all time.
Oh, they're committing murder.
Yeah.
Dude, guaranteed that
The
kid's
kid who
murdering
like grew
somebody.
up, because there's some kids who like their parents start getting money when the kid is like 10 years old.
Yeah.
So you get the experience of growing up poor and then getting money when you're in like prime troublemaking age.
Yep.
Yeah. Those are the kids who are like lifted pickup truck doing donuts in the parking lot.
And they like to tell you, I paid for this myself. It's like, no, you didn't.
Yeah.
It's always like the parents probably felt bad because their kid was poor in the beginning.
Yeah.
So or maybe they cheated and had a little divorce situation.
Yeah.
So they're trying to buy back their son's love.
Well, they're going on vacation in like Key West or something.
Yeah.
One of those like kind of trashy places.
And the dad's like, listen, I only get you 3 months out of the year. I'm getting you fucked
jet skis.
up. Yeah.
Tequila, jet skis.
Strippers.
We're doing it. 14 years old. Yeah.
Let's go get tatted up.
Yeah. You want to have parents that aren't that cool.
Yeah.
And when you're growing up, you think that guy must have the coolest life and it must be so fun. It's like, no, you want you want like good, honest parents.
The people with the best parents that I seen were those old parents. Like they had kids at like 38 or 40.
Yeah. Well, they're like, their things are settled down.
Yeah.
There are even if they didn't grow up rich and maybe they were like lower middle class, but it's like, no, we know how everything works.
Yeah.
We know how to make spaghetti and everybody sits down at a dinner table.
Yeah, you need this put away. This is called a Roth IRA. No 18-year-old parents putting in a Roth IRA.
Not even that, but even if your parents are like school teachers, so they don't got money like that, but they have like a stable job.
Right.
At least that's like a stable household.
Yeah.
They're not going on fucking jet skis and, you're doing shit like a regular age.
Dad's getting high in the backyard.
Yeah, well, it's like dad is like 26 and still wild.
Yeah.
Yeah. You're still watching your dad get into fist fights and shit.
Yeah, I seen my dad getting some fist fights.
Oh, my God.
My dad was one of those instinct guys.
How uncomfortable is that to be a little kid watching your dad get into a straight up fight?
Yeah,
at like a grocery store or something?
Yeah, it's very uncomfortable at a hospital.
Yeah, even if your dad wins the fight, you're still like, this is uncomfortable for me. I wish I didn't see that.
Was that your dad that punched the guy at McDonald's?
Yeah,
I don't know if that was him.
Mean right hook.
Yeah.
Yeah. I'm glad I never seen my parents fight anybody or had into some confrontations in public. It's like, oh man, it's just secondhand embarrassment.
Yeah.
Especially if you're some people, like, you would think if you're like a parent, this is the last thing you want your kids to see, right?
Yeah.
But there are some people who, like, that's just the way their brain works, where it's like, no, I want my kids to see me be a tough guy.
Dude, there's been times that I went to people's houses in Ohio, like, I don't know, just like, I remember one time I was trying to buy a carburetor for my Mustang, and this dude, like, in kind of a shitty neighborhood had a great carburetor for sale. He used to always have car parts, but it was like a deal, and he rebuilt carburetors for a living. And I go to his house, and he's got bags of weed on the table, a gun, his kids are running around, and he's trying to, like, show me good parenting. He's like, hold on. And he's showing off in front of me. He goes, hey, you see this? Never do this stuff.
Yeah, there you go.
Like 7.
Yeah, bad.
Yeah.
Yeah, you see this? You don't want to do this. I went through this, so you don't got to go through this.
Yeah, I'm like, dude, you're fucking breaking bags down in front of a kid.
Wow.
Listening to ICP and shit.
Yeah. Yeah, especially, I mean, like, you go to someone's house and we're all little kids and they're like, the TV's all loud and shit.
Right.
Yeah, there's just loud music playing and there's just like dudes
random people over.
Yeah. That's the thing. It's also like, you don't want to kind of go to someone's house and they have their uncles hanging out.
Yeah, or the mom's openly talking about sex in front of the kids.
It's like, oh, he can see it.
Yeah.
But yeah, I feel like my parents, because I guess it's different because my parents are like immigrants. So it's like they didn't grow up speaking English. So they don't have the same sense of like curse words.
Yeah.
Some little kids, they're cursing in front of their parents.
Oh, yeah,
and it's
that's
like,
crazy.
This is horrible. I mean, it's not as bad as like violence and sex and stuff, but it's like just the basic, this should be parenting 101. Don't start with the foundation of cursing.
Bro, that blows. I couldn't even say man in my house. If I went man, my mother would smack me in the face. I remember one time we were at a restaurant and I said, thank you, ma'am. But I used to watch The Simpsons a lot. And my mother thought I said man.
Wow.
And, dude, she lost it on me. I'm like, I said ma'am.
Yeah.
Like, I had to enunciate that M at the end.
But that's called class.
Yeah.
That's good parenting right there, where it's like, no, what you say makes sense. What you say matters.
Yeah.
You can't just start throwing words around.
My mother would trip on respect.
Yeah.
That was the only thing that mattered.
Just regular shit like that makes such a difference.
It really does.
But when you see little kids who like, no, the rules don't apply to me. That kid, yeah, by the time that kid's 14, he's doing wild shit.
Yep.
Yeah.
Stealing from stores, skateboards, mouthing off to cops, throwing bricks over the bridge.
That kid's in Tijuana killing dogs.
See, the thing is with these parents, like, whenever you got these people that grew up in, like, with drug addict parents,
yeah,
it's at that point, you can't even tell your kid anything. You're a drug addict.
Yeah. Well, that's always funny, too, because, like, I grew up in a decent neighborhood, so I only knew like a few kids in my school that were like the bad kids who grew up like that.
Right.
But it's like they would tell me like, because the thing with little kids when you're like that age, you're like 10 or 12, he's bragging.
Right.
Little kids like to brag about what they see at home.
Yeah.
So he's telling me these wild ass stories about his mother going out on dates with these guys and all this
Right.
stuff.
Running from the cops.
Yeah, and it's like what's funny is once you start getting older and you realize the way life works, that kid was only telling me like some of the stories. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like he only told me like the top 10 stories.
He didn't want you judging him too much.
Not even that, but his day-to-day life, there was like an entire, you see that like the meme of the iceberg.
Yeah.
There's a whole other shit that he's not telling me. It's like this kid must have seen some crazy stuff.
Guaranteed the cereal was always stale in the house.
Yeah.
Those crackheads, they always got stale cereal. I don't know if you noticed that.
Well, there's always like bowls with milk in it.
Right.
It's just like it's all crusty and
Nobody's doing dishes.
Oh, nobody. There's no like you go into their house and there's no like dining room table that people sit at.
Yeah.
There's just like a table that's next to like the living room. And it's like, what kind of life do you live?
My buddy Jesse grew up like that. Dude, he was this guy. He would fight adults. He beat up people's dads. He was like 14 or 12. He was like a champ wrestler.
Wow.
And, dude, I remember this one time, man, this stepdad situation was yelling at somebody. And they're like, dude, Jesse's going to fuck you up. He's on his way over. And, dude, Jesse was like 12 years old, but he was big. Like, dude, he was 12. He was 5'11", a state champion wrestler. And his mother was in prison from being a huge drug dealer running from the cops. He was living on his own at 12. He's sleeping on people's couches.
Wow.
So they called Jesse over, and the dad was scared. He's like, no, look, I was just a little drunk. And, dude, Jesse beat his ass in front of everybody. He would beat up people's parents. But, yeah, dude, he told me he started rolling blunts when he was 6 for his mom's boyfriend, this dude named 45.
Wow.
Because he always had 45 guns on him.
Wow.
And he's like, yeah, dude. He's like, the thing is, you could sell coke and make money. But he's like, once you switch to heroin, they never stop knocking. That's what he would say. You know, but he always had cool shoes.
Streetwise.
Those kids always have good shoes.
Yeah, I mean, there was just loose money flowing.
Right.
In those situations. So that kid had like, N64 first came out.
Oh, yeah.
This
all
dude
the
had
games,
everything. Yeah.
You know.
That's all you needed back then to be cool.
The brand new shoes, the nice haircut.
Yeah, but there's that. But it's also like.
No dentist appointments.
Well, there's no house payment.
Right.
Yeah. Something's fucked up.
There's no medical.
Well, you go to their house, they have Nintendo, but no gas.
Right.
Or something weird.
Yeah,
you're
right.
in the bathroom and there's no toilet paper.
Yeah, you can't take a shower here.
Yeah. You got to wait until 9 o'clock.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's when they turn it back on.
Jesse got $300 sneakers on now? There's no water.
It was funny, though, because I remember being back then. Remember when you were like 10 years old and you talked to like your friend's older brother who's like 14?
Yeah.
In your head, when you're 10 years old, 14 is like this guy's a grown-ass adult.
Right.
But I remember being like my best friend back then, his older brother is like 4 years older than us, and he was like a bad kid.
Right.
So remember, this kid's 14. He's telling me I'm 10 years old. He's bragging about these like, I just fought these guys on the hill. These are like grown-ass adults in their fucking 30s. I fucked them up. And it was when I was a little kid, I was like, that's so cool.
Right.
But it's not until you get older that you realize once you get to your 30s, and it's like, imagine fighting a 14-year-old.
Yeah.
An aggressive 14-year-old. And it's like, what are you supposed to even do in that situation?
You can't win. Yeah. Even if you win, you lose.
Yeah, exactly.
You beat up a 14-year-old.
But this is just an aggressive 14-year-old just comes up to you. You're just walking over a hill, and you just got to fist fight this kid.
I even feel like a 20-year-old's a kid. They still got that baby face.
Yeah.
You don't win if you fight a 20-year-old.
But you don't have a sense when you're 16. You don't think 20 years old is
right.
Young. Yeah. Everything is just grown at that point. You're either young or you're not.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. I wonder I'm really bad about like keeping in touch with people, especially the people I grew up with. Once I don't see somebody for a while, I don't really like follow up. But you never know. I never know what happened to these people.
Yeah, I see a lot of my buddies just working and having families, and they love it, you know.
Yeah.
The past is behind them. Some people are doing great, you know. It's always who you knew would do good and who you knew would do bad. I mean, It's very rare that you get surprised. Well,
you realize once you get to our age how hard it is to turn things around.
Right.
Once you go down a certain path, you've been doing comedy this long. How do you make that switch?
I'm never.
To being a regular. Exactly. But imagine if instead of doing comedy, you're doing cocaine.
Popping pills or something.
Exactly. To make that 180 turn, that's a lot for people.
Yeah, I got a buddy back home, and he's all about the attention,
Yeah.
and he's always like, he'll go hard on the small business,
Yeah.
and then it's like he's hitting everybody up for cosigners. It's like he always gets a cosigner too somehow.
Wow.
But it's like, dude, 1 month from now, I'm gonna see you strung out. Everything's gone. Your phone's turned off.
Well, you just got a bunch of raw marble. In your house, and you're supposed to build some countertops.
It's like, but you got a $60,000 truck. You're trying to. It's like your whole life. These guys can change. They turn it around short period, but very quickly.
It's very hard to go on the straight path.
Yeah.
After you've been living a wild lifestyle for a long time, it's like now you're supposed to own a landscaping company.
I've always respected how people could, like, you look at the guy, you're like, dude, how the hell did you know they're only going to have it for like 2 months, but you'd be like, how the hell did you con somebody into giving you this house to rent and this truck for 60? You got an Escalade. Like, oh yeah, my stepdad on my mother's side felt bad. He co-signed. The next thing you know, there's a GoFundMe. Help me save my truck.
Yeah.
It turns out the
next thing you know, they're like mad at the government for some reason.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So they think that, we got to get Biden out of here.
Yeah, they'll be like, dude, I was a vet. I was in the military for 3 weeks.
Yeah. Yep.
Yeah, dude, these people, I always want to tell them, look, can you just buy a cheaper car? Like, just get a $500 car so you don't lose it. Do you need a $60,000 Escalade when you just got out of prison?
The problem is all these fucking motivational videos on TikTok. It gets you hyped up.
Yeah.
It's like you got to bet on yourself.
Yeah, that Eric Thompson.
You got to believe. Well, it's like once you start you get yourself hyped up, you go on your computer to buy a car. It's the same button to press to buy an $80,000 car as just to buy a $10,000 car.
What's just another $1,300 a month?
You just scroll over a little bit more.
Right.
It's like, now, what if I had that?
Look, imagine.
You put it on your vision board and you start imagining it or something.
Yeah, then I'll be off dope.
That's what's so funny now is because like I'm doing all this TikTok stuff. It's starting to go good.
Yeah, dude, I've been seeing you.
And it's been like I'm making money and everything on TikTok, but I'm like, I got like all ambitious in my head. So I'm like, I'm making all this money. It's like I gotta invest this, and I gotta make a business now.
Put it away.
Not even that, but it's just like I'm trying to think about shit to buy.
Yeah.
Nothing. All I need is my phone. I'm just talking into my phone, so I can't even buy anything to make this business go.
Right.
This is all just ideas at this point.
Yeah.
But if I was of a weaker mind, I would have bought a bunch of fucking camera equipment.
Yep.
And like lights or something, and you know what I mean.
It's easy to do, dude. I've done it.
Start a little fake company with like Dan Harumi Entertainment.
Yeah. You start to see this money come in, and you're like, I gotta spend it on something.
Exactly. It sucks. It's weird because when you get used to not having money.
Yeah.
So when it comes in, you think I gotta do something drastic. When it's like in reality, all I really gotta do is just keep writing jokes and keep making videos. But it's like
go out to a nice place and get yourself some good lamb chops.
Yeah.
That's all you need to do.
Well, I feel like I just gotta go. Maybe if I get like one big video going and make some good money, I gotta stay at a hotel for one night and just swim in a pool for a little while.
Yeah.
I haven't been in a swimming pool in years, but I gotta just like you just float around in a pool.
You could
maybe I go to Atlantic City.
Catch those deals. Yeah, I was gonna say you probably want to fly somewhere, get that all inclusive.
Yeah, but I feel like all you need is just a little bit of that. Where it's like, all right, at least I know I did something with this.
Go to AC. Maybe you can get on AC Jokes, little comedy club.
But it's like, just don't try to like start. Don't try. I'm gonna spend this $1,000 so I can make $200,000. That's how you lose $1,000.
Right.
Yeah.
I've been down that road. I bought the lights.
Well, that's how you end up at B&H.
Right.
You just end up buying
$2,000. I mean, this we're at least using, but
yeah.
Other than that, everything else in my life has been a mistake.
Yeah. Well, you always think the mistake is always like I'm gonna turn this little bit of money into a lot of money.
Yeah.
By spending it.
Start playing roulette.
Yeah. No, you got to start small and actually do the work.
Yeah, dude, I'm the same way. I mean, a phone is a good investment, but you have a new phone. It's like, what else do you need? I just bought that phone, $1,000, but it's a great investment.
Oh, you need a phone. Your phone was fucked up too.
Yeah, it was.
Yeah, so it's like, but it's not like, oh, I'm gonna get an even nicer phone. Therefore, my videos are gonna get
right.
It's like, no, it's a phone's a phone.
Once you got the new phone, what else do you really need for TikTok?
Yeah.
Maybe a cool little light. You should get one of these.
Even then, though,
lights.
We've seen what works.
Right, it's just something funny.
Just something funny in the fucking subway. It's not like this is like we gotta. in my brain, I'm thinking, oh, if I buy this,
Yeah.
and I get this graphic designer and this editor, and he's gonna do all this stuff. It's like that's just a way to blow money.
I'll tell you where people lose their shirt on TikTok. I see it all the time. It's people with money, though. I mean, it's very rare you see a broke person do this. I mean, everybody sees it all the time. You scroll on Instagram, you see it. You ever see these comedians, and I feel bad for them, but you can't tell them nothing, to where they're just dumping money on ads, and it's like, dude, this isn't. You go to their page, they have 2,000 followers. It's like, just make good video. Why do you keep? Everybody's seen this video that you put $15,000 in ads on. It's like, I get it. This one video has 1 million views, but it's been a year now. You're still promoting it.
Well, the thing is, I think I understand the mentality of it. Of like, oh, I gotta make my money work.
Trickery.
I gotta make my money work for me. So instead of spending this money on beer or something, there could be money I could, invest it. But it's like the problem is that's not actually investing.
It's not.
That's just spending your money.
I did it. I threw 60 on a podcast clip. It got 4,000 views. Then we had one. I just put it up with no captions or title. Remember, it got 1 million views a couple times. I reposted it a few times. Testosterone clip.
All you need is actual good ideas. But everybody wants to. It's also people want to make merch or something.
Yeah, my brother's always getting on me about merch.
Well, I think it's good for you. At least you got fans now. But there's some people who have no fans, and they start out with merch.
Yeah.
So this dude's garage just has boxes of fucking T-shirts.
The
Yeah, right.
Yeah.
They're all some like weird size T-shirts.
When you got the product in your house, you're losing from the beginning.
Yeah. It's like a stack.
It's got to be drop shipping now. People get greedy.
You still see comics trying to sell their CDs.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Dude, when's the last time you seen somebody trying to sell DVDs on the train?
Oh, my
Finally,
God.
That's done. That lasted 10 years, way too long.
Yeah. But just if you go to that guy's house, he's just swimming and shit like that.
1,000 shirts. Yeah, I lost 10 grand, but it's a write-off.
Yeah.
That's how people justify everything.
Yeah.
Yeah, dude, the ad money to me, I'm like, that's just burning your money. I don't know. Maybe for some people it works out if you spend a whole bunch. See, I would hire, you know what I would hire people for? Writers. If I had good writers, that's all I really need, dude. I don't even got time to think of ideas. I get 4 or 5 good ideas a week if I'm lucky, and maybe 3 of them work.
Right.
If I just had a team of people to come to me with 30 great ideas a week, it takes a second to shoot them.
Well, I mean, I'm realizing once I went through that whole rigmarole of what I never actually ended up buying anything because I realized at the end all I really need is what I already have. It's like, just keep your fucking money.
Right.
That's what you got to tell. That's what everybody struggles with. It was like, no, take your money and put it in a savings account.
Right.
Don't think like it has to happen right now. It's like, no, that money is going to eventually go to rent, or it's not going to go to rent, or it's going to go to food or something.
Ups and downs.
Yeah, don't try to make it one big score.
Yeah, dude, I've been spending too much dating, man. Speaking of that 1,000, I'm mad at myself, dude. I'm sick. This month I went through, in the past 30 days, I spent $1,000 on dates.
You got to find a more sustainable, a sustainable business model.
Yeah.
Where it's like, no.
Dude, I'm going to cut myself down to 1 date a week. See, for me, it's easy for me to get dates. I don't know. I think as soon as they see the IG, that's my whole move. I meet a girl at the store. Are you on IG? I don't go for the number. They pull me up. It's a wrap. They think I'm like somebody. And honestly, when I'm out and I get recognized, it's easy. But it's like going on. It's easy for me to get the date.
Yeah.
And then after that, it's just a waste.
Yeah.
I should just stand these girls up. I should get the date and be like, oh, I'm sorry, I'm busy. Play that card. Hey, listen, I've been very busy, but if you want to hang out, I got some time. You could meet me here. Right. It's a chess match.
2:30 to 2:45.
Yeah.
I could
meet me here.
I could squeeze you in.
Yeah, because girls want somebody that's unavailable. There's one girl, dude, for a month, gorgeous. If I showed you this girl, you're going to be like, Dom, she definitely only wants you for money. She's bothering me for fucking months, dude. Why won't you ever take me out? You don't want to date me? Finally, I'm like, let's go out. Dude, 7 times I asked this girl out. She won't even respond now. I'm like, what was this whole thing? Did you just want to just see if I'd say yes? They want somebody that's not available.
Well, yeah, that's also just a girl who's probably addicted to her phone. So she wants more shit coming in.
Yeah.
So you get to, play that game.
You ever hang out with somebody like that? It's like I think that what they do, there's no way people call somebody that much. I think they call a bunch of people right before they hang out with you.
Yeah.
Just so they could always answer. They'll be on speakerphone. They tell everybody what they're doing. I'm with Dom. We're going to the store.
Yeah.
It makes it exciting, though.
People want to feel wanted, so they have more stuff going on.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Meet me at the store. Meet me at the gas station.
Yeah.
And then the other bitch will actually meet him now. I'm like, man, I can't believe this girl fucking met you.
Yeah.
And you're just sitting at his sheets. He's calling somebody else. I'm hanging out with the girl.
Yeah. Maybe you got to start setting up like a group date.
Yeah, get 3 or 4 girls
three
in
of them
one time.
Yeah. They're all sitting together. That way there's like a little bit of a, contest going on.
Give them balloons.
Yeah. Start doing card tricks and stuff.
Yeah, so what? Do you know any magic? What's your favorite word in French?
Yeah.
I can't stand when girls do homework.
Talent show.
I've been on dates with girls that'll do homework, and it's like they try to like. It's like I didn't research shit. She's like, this girl told me I love talking about modern art. I didn't even respond. I'm like,
wow.
We're gonna talk about whatever the fuck we talk about on the date.
Yeah, Rocky 1 through 4.
Yeah, anything about Rocky.
I can do this by heart.
I don't really do 5 so much.
Yeah,
that
Rocky Balboa was weird, but yeah. I saw Creed 1 and Creed 2.
Yeah, if he dies, he dies.
Yeah.
That's a cool girl to go on a date with.
Yeah.
I noticed the best dates are always girls with like a bad scar in a weird spot.
Right.
You get a girl like their eye blinks a lot because somebody hit them with a bottle once. I guarantee you that's a fun date.
Yeah. I mean, her like you get that like side eye, lazy eye kind of thing.
The only problem is those girls usually marry quick.
Yeah. Well, they got a heart.
Yeah.
She had to overcome whatever that situation was. She had to get over the bottle.
The guy always gets a tissue. He wipes her eye. Her tear duct's fucked up.
Yep. That's what you're looking for out there.
It's hard to get it, especially in New York. These girls, their eyes are all normal and shit.
Yeah. Well, everybody out there. So, Dom, this comes out the week after next. So
yeah.
About to be in what?
Week after next, I'll be flying back to the Bahamas, actually, again.
Oh, this one's in the Bahamas?
Yeah.
And after that, though?
Turks and Caicos. I got Rome coming up the end of August.
Going back to Europe?
Yeah.
Nice.
I think mid to end of August, like the 25th of August, I'll be in Rome and Greece. I get to actually see Greece for the first time.
Where are you going in Greece?
You know those names are hard to read. It begins with an A. It's not Athens, though. It's one of the harder Greek ones.
Oh, it's like the little islands?
Yeah.
Okay. That's probably better than going to Athens anyways.
Yeah, I'm sure. I'll get some spanakopita there or something.
Yeah.
I want some good rice pudding.
Yeah. That'd be nice. I'm surprised you didn't get caught in that big-ass hurricane.
Oh, no, we did. They had to defer I know they're not canceling ships. Dude, I feel bad, man. I'm sure guests were mad, so the best stop on the boat they couldn't go to. Huh. So you're only going. So they had it set up. They had going to Mexico, on a Friday, Cozumel to end it. The first stop was going to be Honduras. Second stop, Belize. That's a big stop. Belize is like, there's some huge things. You could go look at ancient Mayan pyramids in Belize. Like, that's just some shit you could do. There's adventure. There's boat rides. So because of the hurricane, they hit Mexico up a day before, skipped Belize, went to Honduras. I flew off, and these people had 4 sea days.
Wow.
So it was like basically.
But they're going into like the eye of the storm.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, they went right around it. It was storming bad, though.
Jeez.
Yeah, it was definitely. I mean, you're outside. You couldn't go outside for like a whole day.
Wow.
Because we were in it. It was rocking. People were getting seasick.
Hmm.
You ever with these people and they don't want to take the medicine, but they want to complain about being sick? I have no remorse when you tell them, just take some Adrenamine.
Yeah.
It's like, that stuff don't work for me. Oh, my head. I'm so sick. Can you hold my hand? I got to walk to my thing. It's like, no, here's the pills that are going to help you.
Yeah.
It don't work for me.
I get why it's like, I don't like taking the pills either. But it's like, I'd rather, what's worse, I guess, at that point.
I'll tell you what's worse is hearing somebody complain about this shit for 8 hours.
Yeah.
It's like, pop the
you're in the sea complaining about being seasick.
Do the dope. We got the dope to fix you.
Yeah. God, that feeling, though, of being seasick, that is like the most helpless feeling.
I hate it.
Yeah.
I've had it twice.
The sea legs thing. Where you're
well,
all
motion sickness.
Yeah.
I honestly, even when you're on little puddle jumpers, helicopters, trains, and Uber,
you're dehydrated.
Dirt bike. Yeah. It's like, dude, there's times I was on a mope. I'm like, this is what we're taking? It's a fucking dirt bike.
Yeah.
I was on the back of that thing. You go
to
these
when you're
countries.
In like a poor country and you end up on a bus.
Oh, yeah, it's all hot. Yeah,
there's like chickens and shit.
You don't know the stops.
Yeah, exactly.
They're doing about 170.
It's all dark outside, and they're telling you got to figure out what stop you're at.
Shit's just rattling.
Yeah. That's the kind of place where it's just like, this could be where it ends.
I've seen that, dude. I've seen so many times where bus drivers just smacking the sides of trees and boom, it's like you should have stopped right there.
Yeah.
And they just keep going. It's all, anytime somebody's doing something messed up like that, though, like the bus doing 100, I've been here going through bends in Croatia. You're a cliff straight down. You're really praying for your life.
Mm-hmm.
But this guy messed up today. He woke up late for work. Anytime they're rushing you or if they're picking you up on a dirt bike, you're like, I know something's not right. You just wanted to bring your dirt bike to work.
Well, what's weird, though, is that, like, I've been in those situations so many times that where you swear this is the time that this guy's going to crash and we're all going to get hurt. It never happens. What does happen is you're walking down your steps trying to edit a video, and that's when it happens.
Right.
Isn't that weird?